Hi there, and welcome to Faith in 5, where we believe you can build your faith in just 5 minutes. I'm your host, Reggie Wilson, and I'm back with another exciting episode. Before I begin, I want to thank you for tuning in every time we do a Faith in 5. Because it helps me and it helps you as well. It helps me consistently create new content for you, and it helps you so you can learn more about the Bible. Not only learn, it helps you set up your quiet times or whatever your devotionals for the week. What I want to say as well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as well. We're approaching and another new year is going to be put behind us. And as many of you know, a lot of us has gone through things in this year. Right? We got the pandemic. So many things are happening. But let me tell you something. That doesn't mean that God hasn't worked in miraculous ways. Am I right? I'm pretty sure a lot of us could share some miraculous things that God has done. But here's what I want to leave you with today. I want to talk about an apostle in the Bible and what he's done, the Apostle Paul. And if you know anything about the Apostle Paul, he wrote a lot of great letters. The majority of the letters to the churches, he wrote. The church of Ephesus, the church of Philippi, he wrote to the Romans. Paul wrote a lot of these messages to the church. And a lot of those times that he did write those letters to the church, he was in prison. In the midst of his struggle, he didn't think about himself. In the midst of his struggle, he still thought about inspiring and encouraging the church. You see, I wanted us to think about something. Let's not wait for a New Year's resolution. Let's start a revolution in our hearts. If you notice the word revolution, let's squeeze it down a little bit. Revolt. What is that word revolt? To go against the norm, to break apart. Let's break apart the bad thinking we have, the bad thoughts that we have, and change it with new ones. But here's the scripture I want to preface on and get us to focus on, and then we'll talk more at the end of how we're going to do that. It's in 2 Corinthians 11, starting in verse 23. It says, "Are they servants of Christ? I am out of my mind to talk like this. I am more. I have worked much harder, been in prison more frequently, been flogged more severely, and been exposed to death again and again. 5 times I received from the Jews the 40 lashes minus 1. 3 times I was beaten with rods, and once I was pelted with stones. 3 times I was shipwrecked. I spent the night and day in the open sea. I have been constantly on the move." I'll stop there. There's more as he goes on. He said he's been in danger. So much bandits tried to take money from him. And Paul just goes on to share this elaborate story of all the struggles he's been through. And he's boasting about it because he did it for Christ. You know, one thing I appreciate about Paul, he didn't waste a moment. You see, when Paul was in prison, and was in struggle, you all can imagine how the Romans were, and they put him in that prison. I can imagine him, no sunlight, in the dark. He was able to write letters to these churches to inspire them to keep going, to remind them about Jesus. The church of Philippi, the church of Ephesus. This wasn't done while everything was fine and dandy and he was sitting in the comfort of his home. This was done while he was in prison, while he was under fire. While he was under fire in the most tumultuous of times, he was able to do the most amazing things. You see, that pressure under fire refines us. It brings out the beauty in us, like it did for Paul. So as we go and we press upon this new year, and we look at 2 Corinthians 11:23 on now, let's remember who we are. Let's not waste a moment of pressure. Let's not waste a moment of pain. Let it refine us. Some of us may be sick, have an illness. Some of us may be frustrated with our jobs, our spouses, whatever you've been going through. Don't waste the pain. Paul's greatest writings, his greatest victories came through the pain. When he didn't shut down, he kept moving and he saw things the right way. And he wrote the greatest letters, shared the greatest stories, and gave God the greatest victories. You can do that too, and so can I. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope you enjoyed the content. And if you like what you heard, please like and subscribe. And see you next time on Faith in 5.